Hi, I'm Kamal Imani, and this is the Neat USA Show. Welcome back, and today we have a very special guest who is no stranger to our airwaves. She's been here before. She's doing humongous things in the entertainment world, and it's not just entertainment because it's reality-based. And I'm just going to introduce you one more time to someone who's blowing up so fast that I'm surprised she's even here, and her name is Miss Shannon Bellamy. Welcome, Shannon.
Hi, hello, welcome.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
A lot of things have changed since you first came here with a seminal idea, to manifest your dreams, by showing everyone something that happened in your reality.
Yes.
So you have the movie, no, not the movie, that's me, I'm jumping ahead.
It's coming.
You have the play, Pimps in the Pulpit, you have the book, Pimps in the Pulpit, you've been on Michael Bazin, you've been on all kinds of media, which you're going to tell us about, because I can't keep up.
Yes.
I get those emails and I'm like, wow, but I'm very proud of you, and I'm very happy for your success.
Thank you.
So tell us, for those who didn't see the last show, tell them about Pimps in the Pulpit and how it all got started.
Okay, Pimps in the Pulpit, the book, is my story about being in a mega church in Philadelphia and being in a relationship with my pastor who was married, who was my counselor. And I talk about how a person in a position in a therapeutic environment could find themselves being manipulated into a relationship. And I talk about some solutions as same-sex counseling or pastor-assisted counseling, where people can have more than 2 people in a room when it's counseling, and making it mandatory. It's a pandemic, as we know, with Bishop Eddie Long and those type of scandals that are coming out. They're more prevalent right now. So I touch on that. The book is completely fiction. Nonfiction. It's a true story with real names in it. I was extremely transparent in the book.
Wow.
The only way to look for resolve is to come out and be transparent to the world. And that's what I did. So I took that story and transcended it into a book.
And I know you got a lot of haters because of that, and disbelievers.
Well, there were some disbelievers until I put all the names in the book.
I see.
And there aren't any slander lawsuits against me. So I guess one would infer that everyone would concur that it's a true story.
Right. You know what you're doing. But, I've got some hate. I've seen it on YouTube, and people say, well, you were involved and you just found a profit. What do you say to people like that?
Well, people who say, well, you're just looking to profit, okay, what do they consider profit? I've made sacrifices unbeknownst to man to get my word out, to bring awareness to the situation. I traveled around this country in my truck, driving to places. Right. I've taken everything that I had, my life savings, and put it into this book. So what do they consider profiting?
Right, I hear you.
If their daughter, if it doesn't happen to their daughter, then I've done what I'm supposed to do.
No, I hear that.
Yeah.
The flip side of that is so many people, especially women, that have been through similar situations, and they can identify, and they contact you about that, right?
Yes, several hundreds of thousands of women who they thank me constantly. And any day I have a low and I think, well, oh my God, did I do the right thing by coming forward? I'll get 10 emails from women all over the country who'll tell me what it did for them and how it allowed them. One woman said that she went outside for the first time in months because she felt ashamed that she didn't even want to live anymore. Right. There are so many women who've been distraught behind being in these situations and being left in exile pretty much by themselves. Now they have a voice and they know it's just not them. So I've helped more than I've hurt. Right. And I'm peaceful with that. Right.
Now I just want to clarify for the audience the gist of what happened, because we kind of went through that kind of quickly there. Basically, you needed counseling.
Yes, I went to my pastor for counseling. I had went through a very tumultuous divorce, and I had lost custody of 2 of my daughters, and I moved away 3 hours away for a new life. And basically I went to this new church. I started going to counseling with the pastor. After 9 months of counseling, I was selling real estate at the time. My broker, he mishandled my funds, and I found myself losing my home. Went to the church, asked them for help, and they couldn't. But my pastor said, listen, I'll help you buy some boxes to help you move. He came to my house. I was crying. I'm distraught. Clearly, I'm at the lowest point of my life, making such a big transition and then now losing my home a year later. And next thing you know, he's kissing me. We're on the floor having sex. And I reported it immediately to the bishop. I told the bishop, I said, he violated me. You know, at no time, I don't know anybody that is having this a traumatic situation going on in their life. Sex is something they're looking for and or want. Wrong, bad timing, wrong. It's wrong. And then it's almost as if it was fast forward. He convinced me that he was good for me, that he asked God for me, and that God would allow the relationship. And he used the Bible to twist the word of God in order to make me believe what he said. And I wouldn't have thought that he was lying to me, because he's a man of God. You know, you revere the man of God so much. We put such high stakes in them that I wouldn't have thought he was lying to me. And I found myself just so convinced that by the time I realized that it was false, now I was in love with this man. I loved him as much as his wife did. Now I'm emotional. I can't get out.
Right. So. And I've witnessed certain things, not on your level, but, you know, dealing with authority figures, and especially spiritual or religious ones. You know, we look up to them, you know, but you know, I'm a Virgo. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Taurus.
Yeah, Taurus, you know, and we're both analytical, you know, and after a while I start seeing through people, but it hurts. You know, it's like, wait, I was like looking up to you, you know, I let my guard down, and now I'm finding all this funky stuff about you.
Exactly.
You know?
It is. It's extremely disturbing when you put everything into a person, and when you are really sincere about wanting to do the right thing, and then you find out that person mishandled something that you gave them that was so precious, that hurts. You know, and it's not about hurting anybody. And he himself might have found himself caught up. He said he lost his way. I don't know how the pastor loses his way when you preach that morning, you know, but a lot of pastors, it become very mundane, their jobs. When I said to him, I said, why don't your wife counsel with you? He said, it's my job, not her job. But it's not a job, it's a ministry. We come to you because it's a ministry. So a lot of pastors, I find, not all, but a lot, take preaching a job. They're getting a paycheck, they do their time, and they go home. They don't really get involved with the ministry aspect like they used to anymore, because it's so mega. Everything is mega. It's mega money. You know, it's all about the people and the numbers. And they get themselves in these big bills, these big churches, these big expenses. So now they have to keep it up in order to be able to take care of these lifestyles.
Right. I've met some preachers too, you know, off hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm scared of you. You mean?
Yeah, you can imagine.
Wow.
So hopefully my prayer is that something good will come out of this. You know, thus we have the stage play that will be coming January at the Temple Baptist Theater in Philadelphia, which is now the Temple Performing Arts Center. They just changed their name. But we have a cast of 30 people. We also have Touré, who's a well-known comedian, and Buck Wild, who's a well-known comedian as well, and Jeanette Dubois. She's from Patti LaBelle's Clash of the Choirs. And I'll be in the play myself.
Yeah, I noticed that on the flyer.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little something.
Who is playing you?
Renetta Renee.
That was a good pick.
Yeah, and I did not know her. Everyone said that. She resembles me. She has a character. She's a Taurus as well. I didn't even know her. She came to an open call audition. She was the very first person to audition, so she was a hard act to follow. There were tons that came, but they all fell short. It was destined for her. So I'm very, very happy.
Are no coincidences.
No.
God is good.
I'm very, very pleased with her. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. There's a point that I don't want to miss.
Yes, please.
And that's when you said that there should be like more people in the counseling room.
Yes.
You know, I think that's very important. Like I work at a school and I work with emotionally challenged children. And you know, we always try to have an extra person there, a witness.
Right, exactly.
You know, and that's for everyone's protection.
It is, and it's important. You know, originally I felt that same-sex counseling would be the answer, because you'd have men counseling men, women counseling women. But clearly, after the big scandal with Bishop Eddie Long, that is not the answer. The only answer is to have more than 2 people in the room. You have to have another person in the room, and it has to be mandatory. Otherwise, pretty much anything can happen and anything can go.
So what advice do you give to young men and young women who have been abused and coerced, and you know,
into these situations? The first thing is to forgive themselves, that it's not their fault and they have nothing to be ashamed of. And that it's okay. It's okay to continue to live. It's okay to start over. You can consistently reposition yourself. Do not let anyone make them feel they're any less of a person than what they are. Their perception is their reality. It doesn't mean that it's true.
That's good. That's real good. You know, Malcolm X said, when you fall down, get back up.
That's right.
It's simple, but it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So,
well, go ahead.
Oh, so the next thing is in the spring we're gonna start shooting the movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I need to be extra at least.
Yeah, we'll have to get you up in there. Might have to have you play with those pastors.
As long as I don't gotta wear a dress. Right?
Oh no. We have Nico Sebastian to do that as Chevet in the play.
Okay.
Yeah, the play has a lot of comedic tone to it.
Okay.
It's good. It's a good, serious story, but we do have some comedy for you.
All
We
right.
do. And with the movie, we're going to do the same thing. We basically want to touch the people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking for national promoters at this point, tour directors to kind of get us out there. You know, we anticipate going on tour after our January inception.
Okay.
So even if I have to do it independently, we're going to make it happen.
Okay.
You know, I went on my book tour. I was gone for 8 months, and it was phenomenal. Very well received around the country. Very well
Great.
received.
That's great.
Yes.
What cities did you visit?
Atlanta, Chicago, South Carolina. We were in Columbia, Jackson, Richmond, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, New York, Miami, Alabama. So I've been up and down this coast.
That's good.
It's been good. It's been really good.
And she has a van that's wrapped.
A truck,
Yeah,
expedition,
truck.
yeah.
You know, she did it, you know, hip hop style.
I
You know,
sure did.
and you can't miss it. And I was like, she's a strong promoter, and that's what's up for everybody out there that has a dream and a
That's
goal.
right.
You know, you can't just have something on your desk or on your computer.
That's right.
You got to get it out there. You know, it's not easy, but you know, you got to do it by any means necessary.
Exactly. Sacrifice. A little bit at a time if you have to. You know, when I started my truck, I had magnets on it at first. Then I took that truck and I wrapped the back of it, then I got the side of it. Now the whole thing is pimped out, you know, and I'm not ashamed of what I'm doing. And that's what a lot of women, you know, they want to point the finger, but I'm very boastful about it and extravagant about it because I have nothing to be ashamed of anymore.
Right.
See, it's power. I'm giving power to someone else when I'm ashamed of what I'm doing.
Right. I have to say this.
What?
NAACP, Essence Awards, y'all need to check out Shannon Bellamy. Don't front, you know what I mean? Because this is a strong sister. I know her for a long time. She's always been strong, you know, so strong that she's been quite intimidating to men who thought that they were all that. And she's getting stronger, wiser, and even more polished, you know. And I appreciate you.
Thank
and
you.
I'm glad to have met you and that you're part of my life. And if you blow up, no, only playing.
Listen, I'm already, you know, I'm going to have lunch with Tyler at some point and lunch with Oprah.
See that? She's on win. She's on
Oh,
visualization,
no.
affirmation.
Absolutely.
That's what's up.
Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, we're going to do lunch.
Yeah.
You know, Lionsgate, we'll be doing business
That's
meetings.
what's up.
So, you know.
Tyler Perry, what's up?
Yeah. So, you know, we can do lunch. We can talk. I'm going to, this weekend, to Orlando, Florida, to the National Playwrights Convention. So I'm going to be with playwrights all over the country this weekend.
Go ahead.
That's right. Decreasing that learning curve. That's right. You got to know your craft.
That's true.
That's right.
And tell us about your experience with Michael Baisden.
Michael Baisden, he's amazing. People, you know, the world is torn behind Michael Baisden, but he's amazing. He's been a major advocate. He's been very neutral. He's very neutral. He's about what's right. And people are constantly calling me, telling me, oh, I heard you on Michael Baisden in my city, you know, because there's different shows in different places. So he talks about it. He still re-airs the show. So he's been very good, very vital. Everybody knows, they hear about it. So he's been good. He's been very good and amazing. He's doing a lot now, even with children, and making it so that children are not afraid to speak up about it. Even Monique has done the same thing. You know, I put her Oscar Award acceptance speech on my website, shannonbellamy.com, so that people see that it's okay to forego doing what's popular to do what's right.
Right. And what other media have you been on?
Oh, the front cover of the Daily News.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a 4-page article. Yes.
That's big.
Yeah.